Yo, what up, guys? How you guys doing today, man? Thank you so much for dropping by, man. I'm just gonna dive right into it. Now, we got a very big announcement that pretty much, Call of Duty is doing big numbers on PlayStation Store. Now, you already probably heard the news. We already know, Call of Duty is one of the biggest AAA bangers in gaming history. So, it just continues to get better and better and better every year. Even though they had a little downslope with what it was, Van Garbage or whatever game that nobody liked, nobody cared about. But now they're back. They're back with one of my favorite AAA bangers, Modern Warfare 2. That is one of my favorite Call of Duty since the 360 era. When I can't even remember when it dropped. I don't know if it was on. Yeah, I think the 360 era when Modern Warfare was banging. I'm talking about when they had they even came out with the remake, a remastered version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I can't remember which one it was, but back in those days, man, that's when gaming was actually fun. We didn't have all this extra nonsense that's going on right now in the gaming industry, man. I'm talking about, like, we can't even get back to gaming like we want to with all the controversy. Jim Ryan is over there lying at Sony's front office. Those Decepticons don't care about nothing but money, being greedy, and the ponies think they love them so much. If they love you so much, why are they giving away all your games? PS5 ain't got no games. All their games are going to PC. Now they're gonna start doing day ones. Day one fun. You don't even need that frame drop plastic box anymore. You know what I'm talking about? That remake station. So the blue team is excited right now, man. We got to give it up for PlayStation doing big numbers on the PlayStation Store, man. I know I joke and crack a lot about Jim Ryan, but man, that is a good move for Activision and I think Infinity Ward, man. Big shout out to those guys. They have been working very hard to get this game back on track, because I know they hear the news and the media always talking about them and talking how garbage Vanguard was. Bro, I be out here in these gaming streets and they don't like Vanguard, bro. Let's just say they do not like that game. They don't like it. They wish it was never been invented. They wish they could just erase it from the whole entire Call of Duty collection, bro. They don't even want that game. Like, they should have just made another Black Ops or something, man. I mean, stop it. Who idea was that? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they had to step down after that one. It was just trash, hot garbage. I'm talking about. These people was like, man, please stop it. They're giving me a headache. Every time I hear that name, Vanguard, I just want to run out the door and scream. Like, come on, man. At this point, man, if they keep doing numbers like this, man, I don't know, man. Jim Ryan ain't trying to let that bag go. I mean, he's trying to secure the bag over there right now, UK, making calls, shaking hands, and making friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm for real, man. At this point, man, I don't know what they're gonna do with Call of Duty, bro. They're putting up numbers like this, and now they're bragging about it. When have I ever? Do y'all ever remember when they started to brag about how many sales they're doing on Call of Duty? Like, okay, now they throwing a little shade a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a little tactic that they're using to basically tell the CMA, see, we're not going to be able to make it without Call of Duty. Now, what about the numbers? What game just dropped? Wasn't another game or about to drop? Okay, let's see if they're going to do that with basically God of War. Are we going to see this same energy? Are we going to see PlayStation like main tweet come out and say thank you to all the Sony PlayStation fans, fanboys and ponies out there of the world. Thank you so much for all the great numbers that we did on God of War. Can we please get that tweet? Don't just have it. Don't just be one-sided, have favoritism towards Call of Duty. Even though we know that is the biggest AAA banger, that is the biggest boss, right now across the map. Call of Duty is doing so many big numbers, and this is yearly. This is an annual yearly release, something like Madden or 2K that comes out every year and do big numbers, man. This is crazy because I didn't see this coming. I did see it coming, but then I didn't at the same time. But I didn't know that Jim Ryan would take it this far. is to pull out this little tweet. See, he always have this little tactic. See, this is what I mean about Sony's always trying to keep one foot in front of the other one. They always trying to stay 2 steps ahead of the gaming industry. This is what I always talk about. Y'all don't see what's adding up here. Like, okay, now they're gonna go back to the CMA and say, hey man, well y'all know we really can't make it without Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? We need that 30%. And they made $1 billion plus last year, or at the beginning of this year. Somehow, I think it was last year, they made just a few $1 billion on Call of Duty. You think they want to lose that money? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to lose that. You know, but another thing that irritates me about this whole entire blocking rights and trying to block the deal is that Uncle Phil said that he don't want to take Call of Duty off PlayStation. You know, I kind of felt them on that. I was like, man, why lose all that money though? You know what I'm saying? Like, over pride and ego. Like, when it comes to business and you're a trillionaire, I had to put my mindset in a trillionaire mindset for a day. So I was like, man, how would a trillionaire think? Like, it won't make business sense to pretty much pull a AAA banger like that off of PlayStation platform. You know, the PlayStation ecosystem, because that wouldn't make business sense to do that, because it's one of the most popular shooter games and it's still in its prime. I'm talking about after how many years? Over 10, however long. Call of Duty been dropping bangers, and now not only they want to take over, you know, pretty much the PlayStation ecosystem, the Xbox ecosystem, the PC, they want Nintendo, and they coming after mobile. They want the mobile community. You know, it's over 95% of people game on their mobile devices, and now they're trying to bring out, you know, Warzone on mobile. Now that is just gonna take over. That is gonna flood the market, bro. Uncle Phil even came out and said it. He said that, bro, I want to make Call of Duty the new Minecraft. Now I'm gonna say it one more time. See, sometimes it just blows over people's head and they don't get it. They start thinking like Decepticons. You know, you don't want to be in that category. Trust me. You don't want to be over there with the ponies and the fanboys. You know, you don't want to be. You don't want to miss, you know, updates like this. You know, this man said, I want Call of Duty to be the new Minecraft. Do you know how big that is? That is up there with the Fortnites of the world, the GTA 5. What else out there? Like, yeah, like Minecraft again, Apex Legend. They want these games. They want Call of Duty to be so big until Nintendo wants it. Nintendo even wants a piece of the pie now. And you know, if it goes on Nintendo, bro, Nintendo have sold for the fourth quarter, the numbers that came out, I think PlayStation sold like 7+ million consoles. Xbox was at like 6.5 million. Nintendo was at 12 million. Now you tell me you don't want that. You don't want that group. You don't want those gamers. You don't want to jump into that ecosystem. That would be a, man, bro, listen. We already know Call of Duty is the biggest AAA banger out there. There's nothing really can do numbers like Call of Duty. A first-person shooter like that, you don't really need to touch it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all guys ever heard that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is a very true statement though. And I started thinking, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's working, keep going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really no reason to really make it exclusive, because if you really think about it, Sony don't really have another shooter, you know, that can get that. Nobody really is hyped up and turned up about Battlefield. Battlefield would be the way to go, but they don't really want to even spend no money on nothing. All they want to do is remakes this whole entire generation. All they want is big AAA banger multi-plat games. They're only focusing on story-driven, storytelling, adventure, walking simulators for PS5. That's the only thing they want. Resident Evils of the world, Silent Hills, Final Fantasies, Spider-Man, God of War. That's their focus. Uncharted, you know, story-driven adventure walking simulator games. 10 out of 10 cutscenes. You know, The Last of Us. I know a lot of people didn't agree with The Last of Us, but that's just pretty much Sony way. You know, that's their DNA. That's their kryptonite to the gaming industry. You know what I'm saying? AAA bangers, walking simulators. You know, even though it's a frame drop plastic box, or overpriced, overhyped console that we all know. You know, all they're focusing on doing remakes this generation. You know, but forbid I say anything about that. Oh, they get all in their feelings. But it's the truth, man. They ain't bringing us value over there on Sony, and we all know it. You know, I can't stress that enough. And you know, I had to fight for the gaming community because we don't have enough of them. We have enough of them giving us updates and talking about some very great topics, but we don't have enough people bringing the gaming industry value that I'm looking for. Like, we don't have enough people cracking down on Sony as to why they refuse to compete with Game Pass when we know that they can. You're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars to do hundreds of millions of dollars to do blocking rights, to do exclusive deals, to even try to stop Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal from going through. You're spending millions and millions of dollars on lawyers and traveling fees and booking fees. You're doing all this. You're going out of your way to stop Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal. They're going out of their way to do it, and you mean to tell me you can't even do multi-plat AAA banger games? Come on, PlayStation Plus, premium cloud gaming, and mobile. You can't even develop a mobile app because you want to lock everybody down behind a paywall on a plastic box that as I can see, we're just going to be going in circles this entire generation with PlayStation. Sony over there, they are just misguiding their whole entire franchise over there. Like, we don't even know the direction that they're going in. It's like they're just going with the flow. Whatever, they're just throwing everything at the wall and hoping it stick. It's like, what are you doing? What are you Decepticons over there doing? What are they doing, man? Okay, they're doing the VR thing, the whole VR thing. We're not asking for VR, bro. We are asking for day ones. We know they know what we're asking for, but they want to distract us. They want to go in a different direction and create a new movement that they know nobody wants to walk that trail with them. They know nobody wants to follow that except two people. There's only two people that wants to walk down that trail behind Jim Ryan, and we already know who they are. The fanboys and the ponies. Those are the only Decepticons that will accept anything that comes out of Jim Ryan's mouth. Anything. I don't care what this man says. They believe this man can walk on water. They believe that he believes in generations. That narrative died like at the beginning of this year. I kind of knew once I started seeing all these remakes, cross gens, you know, they're still doing cross gen games for PS4. I was like, they ain't gonna want to leave 120 million people, let's say 100 million plus consoles. Who wants to really leave that amount of people behind like that? And you're still developing games on old hardware from 4 to 5 years ago. So it's not true next gen games are coming out until they all are designed on pretty much Unreal Engine 5. And they can't even work that right. Obviously, look at Gotham Knights. How long they've been working on that game? For about 6-7 years. How long have they been pushing back Suicide Squad? These games, these are things that they have to focus on instead of trying to block the whole entire Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal. These are things that they're not doing, but yet and still they want to try to block the deal. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars trying to block the deal. It don't make sense. And for them to be, and for Sony, the CEOs at Sony and Jim Ryan, they should know better by now. They are too old. They've been in the game too long. They've been out since the 90s. They've been making AAA bangers year in, year out. But I think it's one problem. It's one problem here that really frustrates Sony. It's one problem. It's one big problem that really frustrates Jim Ryan. And do you know what that problem is? The person that stepped in the way, the person that are bringing AAA bangers next year to Game Pass, the person that believes in generations, Uncle Phil, good old Uncle Phil. That is the person that stirred up everything in the gaming industry, that made the gaming industry go in a different direction, that made everybody believe in Xbox again, from the 360 era into now this generation. We have to skip Xbox One because we already know that was just a disaster. That was a wrecking ball. That console just crashed and burned. It had to end up in the gaming graveyard. RIP to the Xbox One. RIP, bro, to the Xbox One. Now it's all about Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, the so-called potato, and the PC. That's what it's about. That's what it's about now, man. And Sony sees that. It's about this Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal going viral. Uncle Phil says he wants Call of Duty to go viral. He wants it to be the new Minecraft. Do you know what that means? That means he wants it on every single platform out there. He ain't skipping nothing. He wants to take over the mobile. He's trying to do a deal with Apple and Google because they know the money that they can make together. That's what I'm saying. You have to think like a trillionaire. He's thinking like a trillionaire. He's not thinking small-minded. He's not thinking like Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan's thinking, oh, well, you know, if I block this deal, it's going to be over. No, that's going to make it worse because now you're going to make him very aggressive. And he's already being aggressive. And Uncle Phil is kind of kicked back. And like, man, I really ain't worrying about nothing because they already got plan A, plan B, and plan C. And do you know what they are? Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal. Whoa, no. Let me rewind that. Back it up. Bethesda, the AAA bangers that's about to drop next year. Starfield, Redfall, Stalker 2, things of that nature. Hellblade 2, you know, Forza Motorsports, you know, things of that nature. You know, banger after banger after banger coming next year. Okay, so Bethesda, check. We got that big boy out the way. The second one, Call of Duty Activision Blizzard, check. They're already working on it. I can't check it yet, but they're working on it. It's in what they say, in process. In process. The next one, mobile. You know, Game Pass is at the top. Okay, we already know that's bringing the value. But then they have Bethesda. Then they're working on Call of Duty Activision. Now they're working on getting Call of Duty Activision bigger by going to mobile gaming. That's what he wants. That's the new target, y'all. Cloud gaming, subscription service, cloud gaming over the world. Cloud gaming, you can cloud Game Pass on your mobile, your console, your tablets, your phones, your televisions, your PCs, your consoles, everything. They want Game Pass everywhere. That is the goal, to have it everywhere. Whether they take over the gaming community or not, they just want you to have access to it everywhere. And they want Call of Duty to follow behind it. Okay? So I don't want anyone to get lost, confused, stirred up. What's this story about? I've been sitting here 30 minutes and you ain't told me nothing. You know how some people get You know how some people get in their feelings, man. They really want to know what this whole story is about. They get in their feelings real quick, boy. Well, you ain't told me nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what the story is about, really. They want Call of Duty to be the new Minecraft. They want it to be on Game Pass, and if they get it into their cloud gaming subscription service, you will have access to it on mobile, because mobile is the biggest gaming device, because everybody have it in their pocket. Who don't got a smartphone? It's across the world. It's going to be more affordable for people around the world. Like, I even seen videos where people are complaining about they don't even want to deal with a PlayStation or PS5 because it's too expensive in their countries, in different countries. You know what I'm saying? So in different countries, it's way too expensive. They can't afford PS5, like $70 games a pop. Like, one dude was like, I hope they don't raise the price on Game Pass. That's gonna make my pockets hurt. That's how bad it is in other countries. They say right now it's at the perfect price. Everybody have grown accustomed to the pricing, so we don't really have to go up. We don't really have to go down. Just keep it. If it go up a couple dollars, you know, that might not be so bad. But if you're talking $25 a month, that's gonna be too much. You know, so you got to keep it between 15 and 20, especially if you're going to do, like, let's say a family plan. The family plan is coming soon. So that's probably why they want to bring out the family plan, so you have access to your console, PCs, and mobile across the map. So maybe 4 to 5 people can jump on one account at one time on Game Pass. So that is the new movement. And then you're going to have Call of Duty. So that's going to be like extra icing on the cake. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, okay, so that's the movement that they want to go in. A lot of people don't understand the direction that Uncle Phil is saying, because the story is so long, so I have to break it down in sections. So they be like, well, I've been listening to this story for 2 hours and I don't get what they're trying to do. Are they going to be a monopoly or not? It ain't necessarily going to be a monopoly, because you have to own, in order to be a monopoly, you have to own like 80 to 85% of the gaming industry, which is, they're not even the market leaders. So it can't be a monopoly, and it's not going to hurt Sony pockets so much to Sony's just going to crash and burn, and they're just going to just completely explode without Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? They have their fan base, even if they do take Call of Duty off, which is they say they're not, because it in the business mindset, if you're thinking like a trillionaire, it's not going to make sense to take Call of Duty off PlayStation, especially right now. Maybe next generation, I don't know, because it'll be a fresh start and it could be good for marketing. But as of right now, it's probably going to stay put, and then they're going to probably re-sign the contract to extend it out another 4 or 5 years, so that, you know, Call of Duty stay put. They don't really want to mess with that money flow. You know, that would probably damage the brand, and they don't want to do that. And especially they're pretty much changing Call of Duty, the people that run Call of Duty, like the bosses and the managers and everything around that order, because we all heard it was some crazy stuff going on at Activision. We heard about it. So we know what goes down in these gaming streets, because once bad news get outside of their office and it gets out here in the media and people start talking about it, oh yeah, we're gonna dig deep into that. So Uncle Phil has a lot of work to do actually inside of Activision too as well. They gotta clean it up, make it a good work environment as well, so we can get back to gaming. Because that's the part that I miss. I miss that old school gaming, man, when we were just having fun back in the day. Now it's just like drama, turmoil, fighting, everyday tweets coming out. People saying this, they're saying that the Xbox Series S is holding back gaming. Now they're really proving that it's really the PS5, and Sony's paying blocking rights to block developers from making it perform better on Xbox. Who does that? What they do that at, Decepticons? Word on the street that Sony is paying developers, gaming studios, to not let Xbox outperform Sony PlayStation PS5 by a large margin, meaning that they want them to cap it off. If Gotham Knights was capped off at 30 FPS, that's where we wanted to run on Xbox. Now PC don't get capped off, because, you know, PC is the most powerful, so they don't mess with PC. If the new Call of Duty comes out and they're gonna have a benchmark test and they cap it off at 60 on console, now we know the Xbox Series S and X can run higher, but they made the PS5 weaker. So we don't know how it's gonna perform when the benchmark tests come out. Oh yeah, we're gonna jump all over that. We want to get to the bottom of who is the rotten potato in the bunch. Cause those ponies and those fanboys swear up and down it's the Series S. It's the Series S fault that's holding gaming back. But we're gonna see once that Call of Duty benchmark test come out, and we see the frame rate that they're running at smooth, and we ain't seen no frame drops. Like it's running at a smooth 60, a smooth 120. That's the direction that we want to go in. I don't want to hear no more excuses. Come next year, I don't care what game they have to push back to run at a smooth 60 and up. If it says 30, 40, 35, 40 FPS, that's all we can do. Push it back. Push it back until you get it right, because the game is going to be buggy. It's going to be slow. It's going to have too many frame drops, screen tearing, checkerboarding. We don't want to see that when we're taking pictures, when we're in the photo mode and we're taking pictures and we're seeing blurred out, you know, images capturing in our pictures and we're trying to upload them on social media and it's looking screen tearing. It's just ugly. It's ugly, bro, when it's not running right. And we have a lot of gaming photographers out as well. And I'm finna get bigger into that as well. And I don't want to see, you know, these checkerboards and screen tearing and blurring and like a Plague's Tale Requiem was having issues with that, with photo mode. I didn't appreciate that. So I hope they do come out with a patch, at least for PC, should I say, to make it run even better at a smooth 60 and a smooth 120 and up. And I think I'm gonna leave it right there, man. I had fun with you guys today, man. We're gonna jump in some more topics later on and some more updates. But that's just the news pretty much came out that Sony was bragging about the sales about Call of Duty in the store to throw shots, to throw shade and darts at Xbox and Uncle Phil, the green team, you know, because they don't want Game Pass to prosper, man, come next year, because they know once that deal goes through, man, it's gonna be a dogfight. Now it's not gonna wipe PlayStation off the map that I know of as of right now. But you know, if they keep increasing the price, man, that can hurt Sony. And that's what the fans need to stand up and say, hey man, stop it. Stop the nonsense. Okay. You just being over greedy. You're just taking the greed to a new level. Cause you love being greedy, grimy, shady, low down Sony, and it needs to stop. Somebody needs to say something at the top. And I'm gonna leave it right there, man. Till next time, man. Make sure you smash that like, that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you can be notified on all of the new latest and greatest news in these gaming streets. And if you would like to jump into the Xbox ecosystem, the PlayStation ecosystem on PC, click the link down in the description. If you like to rent games at GameFly, click the link in the description, or check out some of my merch, my clothing, click the link down in the description. Or if you like to order games, purchase games for the low, click the link for the Game Pass. Not Game Pass, excuse me. GameStop. Why do I always cross up those two? They're so close. I mix them up all the time. GameStop. Click the GameStop link if you want to pre-order games or find games for the low. Thank you. Peace.